morning, YouTube. So in this video, I am gonna put out the passion I have in my life, which is changing the way we build. Because I have studied all the different forms of building for many years. I studied architecture when I was young, and I have been involved in building all my life. And I have now decided to really promote my new invention, which will, as I said, revolutionize building, as it will create a high quality, very low cost building method, which has not been done anywhere in the world, because I researched it very carefully. I have not found anybody doing this. I actually submitted a patent to the patent office on this method, and I am now starting to promote it, as I have my camera is not working so well anyway, so I can't do my regular videos till I get better equipment, which is going to happen next month. But till then, I'm going to dedicate this month to my passion, and I will explain exactly why. And I think it is going to revolutionize building, because I have developed this unique method. Okay, I will start with how the first revolution, or what we call, is the invention of cement, which was apparently 1824 by this English mason, which I, of course, do not believe, because I think that civilizations before have used, if not exactly the same composition, but very close to those compositions for years, for hundreds of years, thousands of years, perhaps even millions of years. So it's just another kind of thing that was put out there, that this was invented 1824. But I still believe that cement is a very, very good building material, but it has been used in the wrong way all the time. Now I will explain exactly why. I'm here in Jamaica, and I've studied the way they build concrete houses. We have basically two different types of houses. People with lower income, they tend to build board houses because it's cheaper, and board houses have some advantage compared to cement houses, and I will explain the advantages and why both of them are inadequate in the end. So cement houses are built by digging a foundation, putting steel in the foundation, putting a ring anchor around the foundation, casting it with cement, with concrete, and then building brick walls on top of that. The corners are left out. They are then encasted, and concrete is poured into the corner with steel in there. So that is already a very labor-intensive, very high-cost form of building. Then the next step would be to put on the ceiling, which is also very labor-intensive. You have to put a lot of steel in the ceilings. You have to put boarding to cast it. The boards have to be put in a very strong way because of the weight of concrete. So that is also very labor intensive. So when that is done now, and you have your house ready, basically the raw building is ready, then comes the next step. The plumber comes in, and he has to dig the holes in the walls to put in the pipes. He has to create holes to put the drainage in, and so on and so on. And then the electrician comes in. He does the same thing. He has to cut in all the slits for the pipes to run the electric wiring in there. Very, very, a lot of work, very labor intensive. And the end product is so. And then afterwards, of course, the mason comes in and has to render the whole thing. And so you have many steps to reach the goal, and then you actually have a very a product that is not very great. because concrete houses have one huge disadvantage, especially in tropical countries, because if they are in the sun will heat up the walls in the daytime, and they will become brick ovens in the nighttime. So basically, if you're building a concrete house, you need an AC in the night, because otherwise it's just not bearable in the house, because the concrete, as I said, creates a brick oven effect in the night. And I just experienced that a couple of weeks ago when I was staying at the Airbnb. The windows were relatively small. I had the windows open. There was not enough air exchange. It was extremely hot. I had a fan blowing right in my face, and I couldn't sleep for 3 hours because it was so hot in that building. And it just proved to me again that it's inadequate, very labor intensive, and not a good form of building. Now, with wooden houses, you don't have that heating effect, so you have some advantage compared to concrete houses, but you have disadvantages again, because you have termites going into there, you have rot. If there's any water touching it, you will have rot, and then in the end you will have to exchange boards and so on and so on. You have chi-chi coming in. There's all different forms of decay of wood that happens if you don't have absolutely high quality wood, and that is not affordable again, because these houses are mostly on the cheaper side. So both forms are inadequate, and actually both are quite expensive. And my method comprises bamboo and aircrete. And the big advantage of this building method would be, as you build the house, you build a foundation same way, and you put bamboo in the foundation to give the stability. Then you put in the casting walls inside, and then you can, on the walls you will put in all your features like electricity. You've put in the plumbing, you put in everything into the walls. Then you put the outer casting wall on and fill it up with aircrete. And aircrete is a form of cement which gets foamed up, and it has very different properties from concrete. As it has these bubbles in there, it will not transport. It's very highly insulated, so it will not transport the heat. So if you have it in the sun, you will not have this heating effect in the nighttime. And of course, you're going to cut down on labor big time, because everything is in the wall already. And when you cast the walls and take off the casting, the house is basically finished. And if you have a nice flat casting surface, you don't need to render the walls either. You just basically paint them. So as soon as the casting gets taken off, the house is pretty much ready to move in. And this building form will revolutionize building, because once I have made my model, which I want to put up on my property, I'm looking for somebody who would love to live in the most beautiful spot in the world, which I think is right here. I've shown it in many videos. Beautiful view on the ocean. A lovely property up here. So if somebody wants to step forward and get a beautiful house, get a 999-year lease on the property he will occupy, and is prepared to pay 80%. I'm just going to say that at the beginning. I think it will be cheaper in the end, but the first one will be, of course, a bit more. I don't want to get too low on the price, because I need to make my I need to have an experience how it works and everything. So, but I know that I can make the house 20% cheaper than a normal concrete house. So if somebody is out there who would love to have a property here in Jamaica, it doesn't matter if he wants to live there full time or if he wants to use it for Airbnb or something like that, um, please contact me that we can get this thing going. Otherwise, I want to, um, as I'm the inventor of this system, I want to actually um, make people build these houses. I want to, when I'm building this house, I will go step by step. I will video everything. I will make it all available to the public, and I will basically have a sort of franchise going on. And I'm going to do it so cheap that people will not even hesitate to not even question it. I will actually, for a small house up to 3 bedrooms, I'm going to charge $10, and for a house bigger than for a villa, bigger than it will be $100, and for a factory or something like that, it will be $500. So I think that's a no-brainer. People will gladly pay that because it's a ridiculous amount of money, and I think that will, and with that, I'm going to be able to keep on developing this method and keep putting out new content that people who want to start building with this method get all the information they need and can do it readily. And I don't care if they want to create a company or they want to do it just for themselves. Anything is good, as long as they pay me these royalties, which are so low that I don't think anybody will have a problem paying them. So now I want to basically, I'm going to have two approaches. I'm going to try and get donations, and each donation, a $10 donation, will give you already the license to build a house for yourself, up to three rooms with kitchen and bathroom. So if you don't make a donation of $10, you already have a license to build a house. And when I have the equipment I need a mixer, because I have tried mixing these things by hand, adding foam and so on, and you can do that. It is possible, but you cannot get the consistency you want to have a uniform quality throughout the building, because each batch tends to be a little bit different, and you don't want to have that, because then you will have one bad batch which is not strong enough, will then spoil the whole building, and that is just no, so it cannot work that way. And I need to get this machine. It will cost me roughly about $10,000 to get it to Jamaica, and so I'm going to be starting to collect money to get this machine, and the licensing fees will pay for that. As I said, one donation, $10, and you get a license to build one of these houses. And I'm not going to send these per mail. If you want them sent by mail, there will be additional charges for that. I will send it per email, and so this is how I am planning to do this. I am going to dedicate this whole month to promoting this method, as I think it is going to change the way building is done. I mean, even in a, this is basically, of course, primarily for the tropics, for countries where bamboo grows in abundance, and of course, it's the most important because people in these countries, they have the biggest need for low cost, high quality housing, and this is going to be the cost of these houses are going to be lower in the end once it's really finalized and everything is done, I think I'm absolutely sure that the cost of these houses will be cheaper than even board houses. So, as I said, I want to put up a model, and once I have my model built, I will go from there. I can then promote that. I can show people what I've built, and I can then have a handle on the prices and can give people an estimate of how much their houses will cost exactly. So this is what I'm going to do in the month of September. I'm going to promote this building method. I'm going to use shorts to promote it. I'm going to use all different other ways to promote it. And so please share this video to your friends, like and subscribe, and let us start a revolutionized building method which will change the whole world. Because I actually worked in America as a carpenter on Nantucket, and we worked on a house which was a $2.5 million villa. And to tell you the truth, seeing how we built in Germany, and compare that to American building, it was a bit laughable, because it's just these 2x4s and these framework, and you put the insulation in there. It doesn't have any soundproofing. It doesn't really. You can get termites coming in there, and so on and so on. Even if it's womanized wood, they all have a limited lifespan. And for that amount of money, you would expect something which would last longer than that. And this method I'm doing will last, because the bamboo will be completely encased, and the aircrete is waterproof, so no water can reach the bamboo to rot it out, and no insects can reach in there to attack the bamboo. I'm also going to treat it. I have the way of treating it. I'm not going to put that out right now, but I will, of course, in the course of the construction, show you how all that is done. And I want to start as soon as possible, as soon as I can generate the funds to. All I really need is that machine to make the aircrete, and then I need some high quality plyboards to make the casting, because I don't want to use cheap plyboards which will not give a nice imprint. I want a very smooth surface plyboard, and there are some little challenges, because aircrete is very thin, so the boards have to be very tight together. You cannot have any holes and leaks in there, because it will leak out, and then it will destroy the quality of the house, because the aircrete will be moving, leaking out, and then you'll have overflow and so on and so on. That cannot happen. So they're going to it has to be very fitting and very, that it fits all nicely together. But as I said, I am absolutely sure that this is the revolution of building, because compared to all these 2x4s and stuff and drywall and so on, it's all basically low quality, and you have all issues with mold and so on. You will not have these issues with this house, because, as I said, the walls will be 100% insulating, so there won't be any issues with condensation in the walls or anything like that. I have thought this thing through really, really carefully, and I am absolutely sure that this is the best building method that will ever hit the market. And I am sure that once I have a model house and people can see it and notice the quality, that this will spread like wildfire. And I'm really hoping that's why I'm also putting these very, very low costs on the franchise of the houses, which will also further the development of the houses and so on. So it will be an advantage for people too. And as it's such a small amount, I don't think anybody will have an issue with that at all. So this was probably one of the longest videos I've ever made, but as I said, it's a very, very important topic for me. And I've actually talked to one of the best builders here in this area the other day and explained the method, and he really, really loved it. I mean, people who are in building, they do understand how this could potentially change the way we've built. But of course, everybody is, basically, oh, well, but we're going to, people will not just change over before they haven't actually seen the product and, and experienced it. So I'm going to have to build this model house first before anything can happen. Otherwise, but please support me on this quest to do this. I have a call coming in now, so I'm going to stop the video anyway at this. And so see you soon again.